Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today on our virtual tour at New Vocations. I'm Andrea Mandella, the Director of Development and Donor Relations here, and we are going to have a special guest today, who's Anne Hardy, the Executive Director at Visit Horse Country. I'll tell you a little bit about us in case you're a first-time viewer. New Vocations is the oldest and largest aftercare in the country, and we've served over 7,000 horses since 1992, and we serve about 500 horses a year. So something really exciting that's happened here is that we've recently launched our on-site tours through Horse Country, and you're able to come out and take a tour that will show you the day in and day outs of what happens on the farm. So our tours start and end in this room that is sponsored by Stone Street, who is also a member of Horse Country, and the indoor arena behind us is sponsored by Fasig-Tipton, another member of Horse Country. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of an idea of what that on-site tour would be like, and then we're going to talk to Anne about Horse Country and how it started and the partnership that we have formed together. So if you came on site for a tour, we have a general tour that's available every Wednesday at 2 o'clock that you can sign up for. We have private tours at 12:30 on Fridays, and we also have custom tour options available that can be booked through Horse Country, and we will make sure you have all that information at the end of our little session here. But to start, you would come out, you would be greeted in this room. We would go over the history of New Vocations, and guests would have the opportunity to peruse our storyboards that kind of highlight how we started and where we've expanded to over the last 28 years and some of the work that we've done, and ask any questions, of course, that they would have. We would continue to go outside, take a tour of the barns. Oftentimes you'll see horses that are actually in transitional training out in the outdoor arena. There might be a veterinarian here caring for some of the horses, or a farrier working on some of the horses. In addition, you'd learn about the relationship we have with historic Mirrorworth Farm and how we came to have that relationship, which ultimately led us to the ability to raise the money to build this facility, which is now our main facility here in Lexington. We do have other locations in Ohio and Pennsylvania, New York and Louisiana. So we've expanded quite a bit, and we have a additional expansion coming to this property, hopefully in the spring of next year. So why don't we walk outside and let Anne introduce herself and Horse Country, and we will go from there.
Notice we're all masked up, we're distanced. These are the protocols in Kentucky these days, so tourism goes on a little bit, but a little bit different as well.
Let's just head out here and walk towards Barn 1.
So I will just say, Andrea, Horse Country's been so excited to have New Vocations on board, because the story of aftercare and being able to give people the experience of seeing what happens for the rest of the story of a racehorse's life is a really important thing for a lot of people who are interested in the sport or interested in horses. And New Vocations is really, a banner organization in the aftercare world. You all are the oldest
and largest
aftercare program in the U.S.
Yes.
In the world, probably.
Most likely.
Yeah, so it's really fun for us to get to see how the life continues and just learn the different careers that they can go into and see them placed into new homes, which is why we're so excited to be able to offer tours and tell the rest of the story.
So unfortunately, we're just missing. There were just a few horses out here getting some transitional training, and they've just gone back in the barns. But our outdoor arena here was sponsored by Fasig-Tipton, who's a large supporter of ours, and I know does a lot of tours through you.
Also a great supporter of Horse Country, really an industry leader who's very committed to investing in the sport and in the horses and the people who are involved.
Well, to our left over here is our indoor arena, which, as I noted, Stone Street and Fasig-Tipton are sponsors of this building. We have an all-weather surface in there. It allows us to train when the weather conditions don't permit us to be outside. So that would be something that people would get to see if they were out here as well. It keeps the day-to-day moving.
So how many horses do you guys usually have in training?
Right now, we have 30 horses that are on this side of the farm at any given time, and this is the training side. So these would be the 30 horses that are either currently being ridden under saddle or close to that, and will be either listed for adoption shortly or already up for adoption and hoping to find their new home. We have a rehab facility on the other side of the street, so we do have other horses. Those are horses that need more time before they're ready to come over into the training section of the farm. And when we do our expansion, there will be 15 additional stalls built on this side, so our capacity for horses that are in training will go up, which will obviously help us move even more horses than we are now.
That's amazing. So you all started doing tours just this month in July, right?
We've always had tours by appointment here, but tours through you, we have just started in July and are shifting our focus in that direction. And you know, it's been really great for us. We've had a lot of wonderful people come through already because of your tours, and people just really interested in seeing the chapter that, you know, isn't highlighted or talked about a lot in our industry. So as you, I'm sure, see when people book their experiences through you, you know, people that are seeing multiples. For example, last week I gave a tour. They had visited a couple of your other tours as well. So yeah. I think people are really interested in being able to go see a nursery, go see, you know, a sport horse farm, go to Claiborne Farm and see, you know, stallions and the history of that. And then they come to us, and it's a full circle picture, and people leave here with a really great feeling about what we're doing, about the responsibility that so many of our partners take on every day to make sure that we're doing the right thing. So, you know, it's been really great for us to have that exposure through the partnership with you. And just grow the awareness. And
yeah, I mean, Horse Country is a nonprofit as well. We're a little bit of a different structure than New Vocations, but we're a membership-based organization. So we have 40 members that span industry partners like Fasig-Tipton, like Keeneland, that work with us, as well as touring locations like now New Vocations, as well as the farms that you mentioned, nursery farms and stallion farms, and really just giving people an opportunity to get to know these guys and learn their stories. So we love being able to just be kind of a central booking location and a central resource for everything that people need to know about building an experience here in the Bluegrass, and just learning about falling in love with the horse and with Kentucky. Stone Street, you mentioned, is one of our members. So we've got a stall sponsorship here. Hey, buddy. Do you think they can tell how little I know about horses?
I think they sense that, yes.
He's good-natured. He's sweet to me. So Horse Country's been around for just about, not quite 6 years, really, in operation. And of those 6, we've been doing tours for about 3.5, 4 years. Obviously, the pandemic has been a challenging time for tourism, but I think we've been so encouraged by the way that our members have come out and really entered this virtual space and still welcomed people in the online space, which is totally new for us.
Great. Well, this horse here, Indian Companion, is actually a horse bred by Denali.
Oh, great.
And they kind of track their runners, and they had seen him in his, you know, final stages as a racehorse. And it was through some of their direct contact, I think, with his current connections, that they all came to the idea that it was time for him to come through our program and have a second career, which is really great. So
yeah, I love when you can really, to your point of the full circle, when you can really close the loop and help people see that whole process of a horse's life to give them a soft landing coming out of their racing careers. And it's really important to us that we show people that whole process, that you would have breeders like Denali who want to take care of their horses, who want to work with their connections to make sure that this guy has the next opportunity to go on to do. I see Godolphin too. They're another member that you can tour and visit. Once our hiatus is over, some of our members are touring now, but it's definitely still coming back to normal for sure. But tune into those virtual tours and keep an eye out for when things continue to open. So do you have any inklings on what he's tending toward?
I honestly am not so sure. We'd have to ask our trainer, Leander Cooper. Maybe we'll run into her in the barn
She's the pro.
next door, but she's our professional. So in terms of, tell us a little bit about, what you're seeing with the current climate of COVID and how that's affecting horse country.
The COVID crisis presented a real challenge for tourism, I think, on kind of the first wave of impact because of the shutdown that was for everyone's safety and security as we tried to move through this pandemic time as safely as possible. So horse country would normally have our biggest season of our fiscal year starting in March and running through the end of our fiscal year in June. So as you can imagine, it's been a really challenging time for us. We've had a lot of refunds, we've had a lot of lost revenue, and as a not-for-profit, it's who primarily runs on tour proceed shares. It's been really challenging for us to try and navigate. The virtual tours that we've offered have been complimentary and free, it's been great because we've really been able to open things up and share for first responders, for kids in classrooms and parents trying to figure out what to do with their kiddos. But in light of that, we have started opening up tours again, which is great. But we've also started a not-for-profit fund with the Bluegrass Community Foundation. So if this moves you, if you're excited about the bluegrass, if you have visited with horse country before or know of us, the Bluegrass Community Foundation is hosting a Friends of Horse Country fund that will allow us to continue to do charitable and educational work. So we appreciate your support. There's a link on our website as well, visit horsecountry.com and support, and you can learn a little bit more about that and just helping us continue to meet this mission. Thank you for asking.
Of course. Obviously, as a nonprofit ourselves, we understand that, even though ours is different, we understand how challenging times like this can be. We've been lucky to see a lot of our current donors show us a lot of support through this time too. It's obviously a concern for us on the same side. Mm-hmm. We also had to worry about how it would affect adoptions, and we were thrilled to realize that it affected it in a positive way. We adopted out 123 horses in 60 days over
and that's a record.
April and May, which was a record.
Amazing.
Which was great. So that has been a highlight, I guess, of the new challenges that we're facing. But yeah, we're in the same boat. We're hoping that people will reach out and donate to us and realize that we're in a special circumstance with what's going on. Mm-hmm. And that's why we've, continued to do these tours with all the safety protocols we can do so that more people can learn about the program and come out and visit us. Why we're trying to be so accommodating to if people want to come out in their own group, we're happy to do that too. So
those private tours have really been a great option for those who are visiting friends and family, for maybe just be passing through or have an interest. To be able to come in just a small group with your own family is really a cool option.
So we have,
and I think Ashford here, Coolmore at Ashford Stud, is another one of our members that you can visit. They are still working on their schedule for the fall, but we're very hopeful and excited about returning to those tours.
We've got Stone Farm also.
And Stone Farm as well. I just love it. To your point of looking for support from the industry, this is such a good illustration of it. You all are supporting us. All of our TAA accredited members that work with us are complimentary members. Everybody in this industry, I think, is looking for a way to support people who are doing the right thing and trying to share this really wonderful thing. Here we are, it's Wednesday in July and we're in the midst of a pandemic, but surrounded by all of this. We're very fortunate, and the way the industry can step up together and share and continue to promote those things is really fun. Look at these guys. What you doing?
Well, it's been really great to have you out here. We're really excited about the partnership with you. I think Horse Country's done something for everyone here in Lexington, which is take everybody who has a different role in the industry and put them all together and teach our community about them. And there's a lot to see and learn that people just didn't have the opportunity to know. And I think there's so much positive there's so much positivity on all sides of what's going on in our business, and it's unfortunate that, you know, the only things that are sort of highlighted are not always those things. So I think, you know, I consistently see people come out here and they always leave with an appreciation and, you know, a heightened awareness, and are really finding those tours valuable, to see what it is that we're doing here. So thank you to you guys for giving us that vehicle to get extra people through here and extra awareness of our program, and we're just happy to be a part of it.
We are so happy to have you all and to have all of these members that are here, and we look forward to welcoming we have an interloper. Look forward to welcoming more and more guests in the future. Visit horsecountry.com. You can book those tours. Call us. We would be happy to talk through any of your ideas with you. It's just our passion to share this wonderful stuff that we have here in Central Kentucky, this great industry and these amazing equine athletes.
Well, and you can find our information at newvocations.org. You can find any information about our program. You can follow us on social media, share our virtual tours, share our information. That helps us reach a larger audience, which generally leads to more support. So we appreciate anything anybody can do to share our information and get our name out there. I think that's it.